So I am here today with Dr. Aja Nichols. Hey, do you have a preference of Dr. Aja or Dr. Nichols?
It really doesn't matter. It doesn't. Patients call me Dr. Nichols, Dr. Aja. I'll answer to either one.
Perfect, perfect. So I just wanted to introduce you guys to Dr. Aja. She is a dentist that focuses on airways, breathing, and cosmetics. I have really enjoyed getting to know Dr. Aja and what she's all about, and I wanted to help let her kind of explain some of these things to you. So I am seeing Dr. Aja for my basic dental and for mild sleep apnea. I feel like this is so important, so I want to share this with you. Her office is amazing. I love her staff.
Thank you.
She has this really cool massaging dental chair, and you get a hot towel after your cleaning, which is amazing. So I just want to know kind of how you got into dentistry, like what drives you, what are you passionate about?
Awesome question. I did not want to be a dentist all my life. I graduated college. The last semester, like, really kicked my butt, and I was like, yeah, I just don't want to do anything. So I was a year out of college before I truly decided, like, hey, let me look into this. I had braces at the time, and so my orthodontist would joke and say, hey, you need to go into geriatric dentistry so that by the time you're finished, you can take care of me. And I literally decided, like, okay, I really do want to do something. All my life, maybe since age 6, 7, I really did know that I wanted to be a doctor. I started out as, I'm going to be a neurosurgeon, right? Get older, that passion wasn't the same, but I started to look seriously into it. Indiana University had this really cool program where people who were interested in dentistry could go and wax up teeth and have mock interviews and, have little fake mouths to look at and drill on. And so I did that and got interested in dentistry. And I said, let me study for this dental admissions test and see where it goes. And hi, now. So it went decent. It went decent. So that's how I got into dentistry.
Awesome. What is like some of your big driving forces, the things that you're most passionate about?
Things that I'm most passionate about, of course, my daughter, one of them. She actually is the reason I started to get into sleep and airway.
Cool.
Very small when she was born, so tiny airway. And so that started me on my journey. Like, I was doing just general dentistry, orthodontics, which is braces and aligners. And there's been this big push for dentists to start doing more with sleep apnea, basically. And so I finally, after I had her, I was like, let me see what they're talking about. Like, as a dentist, honestly, it feels like it's always a new song and dance that you have to do to get patients interested in coming in. And I was tired of that. I just, like, I'm a dentist. Like, let me just do, this, what I love. And so that's kind of how I looked at it in the beginning. But once I started taking the courses, because this wasn't something we were taught in dental school. I've been practicing for 17 years now. I graduated in 2008, and sleep was not in our curriculum. And so I started to look and started to, you got to pay for continuing education. And so this was, a nice little investment too. And once I saw the things that I saw, which is almost 5 years ago now, you just can't unsee it. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, number one, that's my daughter. Oh my gosh, number two, that's my dad. That's my patient, And so it kind of started that way. And when I tell you, I'm just not looking back, because I've in that short amount of time, I've helped so many patients. And so that's really what drives me, educating patients, letting them know that, hey, I can help. I know you think that we just do cleanings and fillings, but no, it really is deeper than that.
No, that's awesome. Because when I met you, I was like, whoa, this is something I've never heard anybody, let alone a dentist,
Yes.
talking about. I actually had a friend who super fit, super into nutrition when I was going to massage school around 2008, ironically.
Wow.
I was doing a homework massage on him and he was face down and he started, like, you could visibly see him, like, because of the sleep apnea.
Yeah.
He's not snoring, face down. I was always under the impression that sleep apnea is for people who are, like, really unhealthy and overweight, and the trachea getting squished. I'm like, he's face down. So this,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm really worried about you.
Yeah.
So, had no idea that this was something
Yeah.
that had a solution. So like, this is really cool.
Yeah, you can be completely fit, all of that good stuff. It literally has to do with your actual airway. So when we say things like, oh, lose weight, really what we're saying is the tissues in the back of the throat, they, as you gain weight, those get bigger as well, right? Start to get floppy. And when you go to sleep and you have sleep apnea, those things start to collapse. So if you already have a tiny airway, and what do I mean by tiny airway? This, may fall on deaf ears because you really have to, be in the work to know. But we want you to have 7 millimeters of air, right? And you have 2 millimeters of airway, and then you also have had weight gain and all of that good stuff. It's easy to, I mean, there are some people you probably heard, like when they're sitting there, they're up, they're not asleep.
Yeah.
That's tiny airway, right? And so what that means is they have a difficulty moving air through that through the airway.
So one of the things I thought was super cool as a massage therapist coming to your office when we were first doing the initial exam, like all the pictures you took, all the imaging you took,
Yes, ma'am.
super cool. But you were palpating me,
Yes.
which for people not in the industry is touching, feeling, examining. I just, having your fingers run over and be like, medial pterygoid, lateral pterygoid, and I was like, ooh, she knows terms. Like, this is a very different dental experience. But to really look for the imbalances before you start figuring out what your approach is going to be,
For
what your
sure.
plan is going to be, which I thought was so cool. Because I have taken some TMJ courses, and just in general, when you're talking about airways getting like restricted. So for all the things you're seeing from the dental world, I'm seeing more in an external world with like muscles. So if you're clenching a lot, those muscles will affect TMJ. If you are so pulled down because of your posture, like that's going to affect your airways too, because you've got all this muscle, all this fascia tightening, adding more restrictions to it.
For sure, if you're not breathing what we know as correctly, it's just starting to stress everything out. And so it brings you in, because now you're trying to get whatever air you can get. Now you have, barrel chest, back cup. It's all super duper connected. And that's one of the things that I just really try to get my patients to understand. It's not just mouth, it's not just teeth, it's not just tongue. It's not just shoulders, not just neck. It's so all connected. And they come to a massage therapist, go to a dentist, go to ENT doctors, and we all have our specialties. But what I really try to drive home is that it is connected.
Yes, I've seen so many people just working through like sternum and pecs and working, and they're like, oh my God, I can breathe so much better. I didn't realize how tight I was. I didn't realize that was affecting my breathing. And I'm like, this is so cool. So it's like, I look for things if you're not breathing, if you feel like the weight was taken off, like, okay, let's talk about like TMJ, let's talk about breathing, because I know somebody
For sure.
that they can talk to, and I love that.
And it's always I love when patients are like, oh my gosh, my dentist never said that before. Why are you? We learned in school that our area is from the clavicle up. So why would an airway be included, right? I'm sure now universities have included sleep in their curriculum for dentists, but it's something that every dentist should be looking for, should be looking at, and if they don't know, they should be taking courses, because they really can't help. I can't see every patient, right?
Right.
And so even knowing a little bit to be dangerous, to say, hey, I don't know much, but I do know that you could probably benefit from a sleep appliance, right? Something that you wear when you're asleep. And so I have to tell patients, because they're almost annoyed, like, my dentist never told me. It's honestly, if I can be honest, it's kind of like if I only do, gosh, this is probably about to sound too clinical, but if I only do bridges, right, and only do partials, which are removable dentures, I'm not going to tell a patient, hey, you need implants. I want them to stay with me, right? And so I really feel like majority of the time, dentists don't say anything, don't tap into that, because they don't know about it. They don't want their patient leaving to go seek, care somewhere else, which kind of sucks. Yes, I get that we all want to keep our patients, right? But if you know that you can help a patient a better way by just referring them, hey, I'm only sending them over here for sleep. Tell them for all of their other dental needs, they need to come back. What's one of my favorite sayings? I don't steal patients
Right.
at all, right? But I do know what I can do to help patients that may not be getting help elsewhere.
Yes. I would say another thing I think is super cool is doing the journey with the aligners and doing the myofunctional therapy. So it's not just, because I hear this a lot from people also. Well, I don't really want to go to the dentist. Like, I have a cavity, but do I have a cavity? I have pain, but they want to make money. They're just going to take my teeth.
Yes.
And to see the myofunctional therapy where you are correcting, maybe not you, but,
Right.
sending us to be able to get the correction into our mouths, our jaw, to be able to hold everything in the correct place, which I think is so cool, because it's not you saying, you need this appliance, I need this appliance, I need this appliance.
Right.
And let's keep getting you in. I just want your money. Like, you're like, here, this is,
I'm setting you up so that after we finish our treatment, you can continue to be and do in a better position, better, a corrected lifestyle, I want to say.
Right.
But yeah, it doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, you need to come in every 6 months because you need a new appliance every 6 months. No, I'm trying to set you up so that, hey, you don't need me that often, right? I'm there if you need me, but no, it's not just to keep making money and keep doing things.
truly empowering. Empowering.
Thank you.
Your patients, really.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Thank you.
So I get frustrated a lot just in the industry where people are normalizing things that are not normal. Mm-hmm. It has become so common that people think it's normal. Like, I will say one example. I had done a massage on a young man who's 16,
Okay.
and we're talking about, like, what do you want to work on? What are your issues? He said, my low back. My low back hurts when I sit, and when I'm moving through classes, it hurts. But who doesn't have back pain? It is what it is. I'm like, you are 16 and you're basically giving up on, like, low back pain is not normal. It is common, but yeah, not for a 16.
Yes, definitely not for 16.
So what do you see as something that is so common, it's become normal, and people don't know that there's a solution to make it better or fix it?
I have to go back to snoring. Oh my gosh, snoring has been so normalized, and it is so not normal, right? Can you snore and not have a sleep issue? Absolutely, you totally could, right? But what else is there? Now let's talk about the upper respiratory, the nose, okay? Nasal hygiene, things like that. One of my favorite sayings nowadays is stop ignoring the snoring. Snoring, and this is what I tell patients. If you have been snoring for years and you have not had a sleep test that clears you from having sleep apnea, don't be surprised when you all of a sudden start having heart issues. Those things go, when I say hand in hand, that's still an understatement. There's like a 144% chance, higher chance for you to have a stroke and heart attack if you have been snoring for years. Like,
Wow.
I mean, I have a cardiologist friend who really is into sleep as well, and he tells me all the time, Doc, by the time they get to me, it's too late. Like,
Wow.
he started testing, he's in private practice, so he started testing all of his cardiac patients, all of his heart patients. 100% of them have sleep apnea. About 50% of them have severe sleep apnea. And so
Wow.
it is when I tell you yes, I'm passionate about it. I can go on and on all day, but if I had to say one thing that has been normalized that is so not normal, it is snoring. Go get a sleep test. Go get a sleep appliance. Like, do your research. Talk to somebody who don't let, and I say this too, don't let somebody just say, oh yeah, you need a night guard. No, that's not it, right? There are patients who need a sleep appliance, right? But I also check their TMJ to say, hey, your TMJ is not positioned well, so I have to put you in this appliance for 3 months before we can even do this appliance. Does that make sense? And so it's a comprehensive treatment. It's not just me saying, oh, yep, put that in your mouth so you can go to sleep and stop snoring and let's see how how long it takes you to stop snoring. It's not that. It really is a comprehensive treatment. And so I really do look at everything, like you said, the muscles. I take a 3D x-ray. We're looking at the positions of how the TMJ sits and posture, all of that good stuff. So I'll end it with saying stop ignoring the snoring.
How do you feel about people who jump straight to, well, I have a sleep, or how do you feel about people who jump straight to a CPAP?
That's a great question. So the reason they jump straight to a CPAP is because they're going to their physician. They're going to a medical doctor to say, hey, something's going on. I'm not sleeping well, whatever the case may be. So they're conducting the sleep studies, and really that's all the medical doctor has. Besides like something super invasive surgery where, they're doing anything. I've had a patient who had surgery and just so invasive, didn't really work out well, right?
Yeah.
But anywho, and so that's really what they have. They only have CPAPs to give out, right? Another thing is CPAP is covered by insurance. Insurance, when you don't let me get on my high horse about insurance, but when it doesn't fall under what they think is treatment, they don't want to cover it. They'll start to say, oh, it's cosmetic. No, it's not cosmetic. It's just not big and clunky like a CPAP machine, right? And so I don't fault. I also don't try to talk patients out of using a CPAP. If you were to come to me and you say, hey, I use my CPAP religiously, I love it, keep doing it, girl. Keep doing it, because it's keeping you alive, right? It's a consistent pressure blowing at night. Now, the ones that go over the mouth, they dry the mouth out like crazy. Okay, so I do have patients where they have rampant decay, cavities everywhere, because it's drying them out. Their saliva is not able to do what it's supposed to do. But I don't knock CPAP. I just say, hey, I have an alternative to a CPAP, because what I will say is 80% of CPAP users don't use the CPAP. Does that make sense? So it's a high rate that people have the CPAPs and they're not using it.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And so let me offer you something that's, I call it safer and sexier than a CPAP, right? And especially I deal with a lot of people who are dating, especially females. They use a CPAP. They don't want to date someone and that partner spend the night and they have this machine over their face and you can't turn. There's a hose here, like
because that's not sexy at all.
It's not sexy. It is keeping you alive. May not be sexy, but it's honestly nothing to be embarrassed about. And this is coming from, I'm just very sensitive. This is coming from someone who doesn't use a CPAP. So I can say, oh, don't be embarrassed about it. Doc, you don't know. You're not wearing a CPAP. Yeah. You're not dating. And so I'm just very sensitive to that, to say, hey, I have another option for you.
Awesome. Who are your ideal patients, people that really kind of fit with your vibe that you can really help?
That's a great question. I would say patients who comprehensive patients who are like, okay, doc, I really want to get this corrected together, whatever their terminology is. I want to do it, versus somebody that's just like, yeah, I only want this one done, or talking about teeth now. Oh, just do that one. I don't, somebody who wants to, this sounds so cheesy, but literally live in harmony.
Yeah.
Like your bite is correct, your swallowing is correct, your sleeping is good, you're getting the massages, you're relaxed, you're breathing well. Those are the better patients. And I say better patients who align more with what I'm doing, if that makes sense, right? And what I will digress and say, patients don't know what they don't know.
Yes.
Right? And so even though they may say, well, no, I just want this tooth done, this crown done, or what have you, they just don't know that just doing that one crown can throw your bite off, which can throw your TMJ off, which can now throw off blah blah. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? It's a domino effect, basically.
Exactly.
So that's why I say the patients who I align with are those who are looking for comprehensive treatment.
That's awesome. And I love that you are somebody who can educate and not pressure, but educate yes. Which is one of the reasons I really wanted to talk with you and share your
appreciate that
whole concept.
I sometimes, it's so funny. I love educating. Like, I love I'll take an x-ray, I'll show you, hey, this is what I see, this is the picture that I see, because far too many times I've had patients come and, well, the doctor just told me I need it done, so I got it done. And I tell them, thank you for trusting your doctor. And here at Lifestyle Dentistry, if I can't show you why you need it, don't get it done. And it really is because everybody, like you said earlier, oh, dentists just want money, or,
Yeah.
they don't know what they're talking, whatever it is, right? I want to show you. This is what I see. And I'll take a picture after I fix whatever. This is what it looks like, right? And so I'm love educating patients. Sometimes too much. My team is like, okay, we have another patient. Let's go. So, but yeah, I love the education portion of it.
That's awesome. I know personally, when I have come in, I'm like, I feel like this one's going crooked. And you're like, all right, tell me more. Is it crooked? Is it slanted?
Yep.
Tell me what you're seeing before we approve that, like, we're going to the next step, which I love because it's not ignoring what I'm seeing, but it's clarifying. And I feel like there's been a lot of instances where I can ask a question which might sound crazy, it might sound trivial, and you'll take it and actually be like, all right, let's talk about it a little more.
Yeah.
And let's educate and let's get to the root of what are you seeing, what are you feeling, which I feel like I feel seen, I feel heard.
Yes.
I mean, it's something that I want my clients to feel and hear, and to know that I can send them to somebody else who can do the same.
Yeah, and I also want my patients a part of their treatment plan.
Yeah.
Hey, like, listen, what I tell patients all the time is I educate you, I tell you what I see, what I recommend, and then I bounce pass the ball back to you. What do you want to do? Because your everything, you have to be comfortable, your pockets have to align with my treatment plan. Like, what do you see here? Like, let's do this together.
I love that. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for thinking of me. I definitely hope this video helps, and I hope we do this more often.
Yes, that'd be fantastic.